Today in class, we discussed some typography or type-related terms and how to use type in Illustrator. So, first thing to know is there is a type tool. That quick key is the letter T. Today's activity is going to have you practicing editing type with your character panel. Let's start with first one. It says change the block of font to follow these specifications. Serif font, center alignment, 10 points. Let's remember that a serif font is a font that has little edges or flourishes. So, this is a good example here. This font right here is a serif font. The serif is not the name of the font, it's the category of the font, and that confuses people quite often. Let me show you what the serifs are in this. If we look at the little letters around, let's say E, the flourishes around the edges of E show me that this is a serif. And if I look at, I don't know, an area over here, I can tell there's no little extra stuff. It's just flat. That is a sans serif or without serif. So if I'm going to change this font to a serif font, I have to select it first, and I want to use my character panel on the side. Your character panel will not show up unless you have type activated. You can also pull up a character panel by going to Window, Type, and there's Character, but it'll show up here on the side. Now, when I'm looking for a font, I'm going to click this drop-down arrow, and all the fonts in the program will show up. The way I know I have a serif font is over here there's sample text, so I'm going to look for one that looks like it has edges. And I can tell because the letters have little flourishes at the end. So good, now I have a serif font. Second thing I asked for is center alignment. Your paragraph settings right here will allow you to change where you align stuff. I want this to be centered, I'm going to hit Align Center. The last thing it says is to make it 10 points. That's the size of your font. Right now it's at 17. We can just type in 10. And now I've changed the settings to match those specifications. You're going to do the same thing with this one, except a sans serif, meaning without those little flourishes. And follow right alignment, 16 points. The last section here is going to have you create your type, not type I've already given you. And it's asking you to create area type. So that means when you take your type tool, you're going to have to click, drag, and make a box, and then type in the lyrics you see here and follow the settings here. When you're done with that, you're going to spend most of the time today focusing on creating a graduation invitation. You have 3 options as far as designs, and I've given you the live type to edit. So let's say I like this option. I'm just going to bring it down here, make it a little larger. If you want to erase the other options, you may. And I'm also going to bring the fonts down here. Here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to bring this and go like this and be like, okay, I'm going to squish this down, and there goes my invitation. That doesn't look like an invitation, it looks like a paragraph. I would highly recommend you take some of these types. I'm going to highlight just the name, copy it, and then go somewhere else and hit paste, because I want Maria Sanchez to be on her own here. And I'm going to make the font bigger. I'm going to think about how this would look like a good graduation invitation, not just like a paragraph of Microsoft Word, you know? So I'm going to make it bold. I'm going to change the color to match something blue in this so it looks like it belongs. It already looks a lot better than that paragraph before. Think about why, when you look at an invitation, some things are bolder or larger, right? Because they're more important. So example, it's really important that this invitation, you know that you're going for Maria Sanchez, and maybe the date and time would also be really important. So those should be bigger. Really think about how you're using type and the character panel here to the right to make a really beautiful invitation. Good luck.